I rise in opposition to Senate Bill 9, a discriminatory bill that, if enacted, would allow for state-sanctioned bullying and restricting the rights of transgender youth and really, frankly, all youth, because based on this legislation, there are sections that can be harmful to any child playing on a sports team. We don't need to do this. I plan to submit my full remarks for the record, but because of the eloquent and truthful words of my colleagues who spoke prior, my floor remarks will be brief. I just want to point out that there is a long list of things that we could be dealing with today in this chamber, and we should be dealing with, relative to ensuring women's rights, reproductive freedom, equal pay, actually implementing a true Title IX program.
President, point of order.
Chair recognizes
I respect the gentlelady's points, but they are not the topic at hand in Senate Bill 9.
Chair recognizes Senator Leader Costa.
She already indicated that she's going to submit the balance of her remarks for the record. Being very restrictive in terms of how we're going to have this debate is inappropriate and wrong, and I ask my colleagues and my leader on the other side to give us the ability to be able to. This is a very divisive issue. We know why it's being considered today. This is a political issue. You all know it. We know it. And it's something that's not necessary. So to that end, you know this bill's not going anywhere in the House. You know it's not going anywhere to the governor's desk. This is simply being done for political reasons to be able to create a divisive chamber here. Give the gentlewoman the opportunity to provide her remarks and stop interrupting.
The chair recognizes Senator Pittman.
Well, Mr. President, I want to just point out that I had a point of order, a question posed to the presiding officer, and I think the gentleman from Allegheny was out of order in his interjecting of that. I'm simply pointing out that some of the issues the gentlelady from Chester County were bringing up were far afield of the contents of Senate Bill 9. Thank you, Mr.
Chair,
President.
here's the point. The gentlelady may continue if she can refrain her remarks. The ruling is not debatable. The gentlelady may proceed if she can confine her comments to the underlying bill. The chair, that's my ruling on that point. The chair.
With respect to what the items that the gentlewoman spoke about that are offensive to the previous speaker, the person requesting the point of order. If she can define what they are, if he can define what they are, she'll have the ability to provide her remarks, to tailor those remarks, to be able to not cross that line that's been allegedly put forth here.
With respect to the Democratic leader, I've ruled on the point. We're not going to debate the point. The gentlelady may proceed with her remarks.
Thank you. Pardon my misinterpretation of the title of the bill, which is Protect Women and Save Women in Sports. I will continue and hopefully not upset anyone with the remainder of my comments. A peer review study published in September showed that states that passed anti-transgender laws aimed at minors saw suicide attempts by transgender and gender non-conforming teenagers increase by as much as 72% in the following years. I cannot support legislation that would possibly cause harm to any Pennsylvanian, and certainly not someone of a vulnerable population. This study looked at data from 19 different states, showing that regardless of your political beliefs, if you live in a state that has passed an anti-transgender law, transgender young people in your home state are significantly more likely to attempt to take their own life. This is unacceptable. We are all elected to represent the best interest of our constituents, to better their lives, not to pass laws that are state-sanctioned bullying efforts. In 2022, Governor Wolf vetoed a version of this same bill, stating in his veto message that the bill denies opportunities to transgender youth, which could have a devastating impact on a vulnerable population already at greater risk of bullying and oppression. Also in 2022, Governor Spencer Cox, a Republican governor from Utah, vetoed similar legislation indicating that at the time there was 75,000 high school kids participating in sports in Utah. Of the 75,000, only 4 transgender kids were playing high school sports, and only 1 transgender student was playing girls' sports. There are so few opportunities for trans kids to feel like they are accepted and involved and respected that I don't understand why one of the data-driven, evidence-based, most successful things for kids to be a part of, sports and activity, why we would want to create an atmosphere where others could not participate and instead harm people's health and well-being. This calendar year, there's 869 bills under consideration across the country that would negatively impact trans and gender nonconforming people. That number will sadly continue to grow. I cannot support legislation that would harm any Pennsylvanian, and we do not need to do this bill today and in fact have the opportunity to actually pass legislation that would protect women for all the various harms that they are subjected to every day here in this Commonwealth and across the globe. I urge a no vote. Thank you, Mr. President.